Hello and welcome to another ICS Impulse video. I'm Wendy Crumley Welsh, the Product Manager for ICS Impulse. Today we are going to be talking about reporting in OtoSuite Vestibular. So we're going to talk about two sections of the report, and we will go into the software and look at these. One is the Edit Report tab and all your options under that, as well as the Review Report Options tab and all your options. So first thing, let's talk about the report. The report has vector-based graphics. These are the quality of graphics that can be submitted to peer-reviewed journals if you're doing research. You can also save multiple reports on the same patient. You can combine data from multiple test sessions into one report under Review Report Options. You can also easily print your data from the one test session on one-page reporting, including a 2D graph and the gain from the single test session. You can print a report, create a PDF of a report, and email a report, and you have the ability to search the report for a particular word. So regarding customizing the report narrative allows the clinician to store their most frequently used symptoms, impressions, and macros along with user-definable fields. And the other things you can do to customize your report, making reporting quick and efficient, is you can add your facility information, add your facility logo, choose what patient demographics are included, choose the title of the report, and choose what elements you want to include in the report. And we're going to talk about all these things today. And we will go through each one of these elements. So there's many elements that you can include in the report. One is progress data. So if you were looking at the difference between two test sessions and wanted to see if the patient's improving or if the results are changing, you can then include the progress data. The mean gains, the gain graph, you can either present it in a small version or you can do a large 2D impulse graph, which is a larger trace. You can do the 2D graph, which is a smaller version of the trace. You can do test remarks, the calibration graph. So when you do that calibration check, do you want to include that in your report? Test info, that's the analysis versus the collection data. And then the hex plot, which is new for the version 2.0 software. So let's go into the software now and let's talk about reporting. Let's pull up a patient. We're going to look at our unilateral loss. And we're going to go to Report tab over here. Okay, so first thing is the symptoms, impressions, and macros. So these are a bunch of symptoms that are imported into your OtoSuite Vestibular software. Now, these are available in English, Spanish, French, Italian, German, and Chinese now. So if you check any of these, they can then be included on your report. And we'll just check a couple just to show you where they're included. Now, if you wanted to edit any of these, you just click the symptoms button. You can come in and change the words. You can change the order. Now, if you change anything and you've got multiple systems, then you want to export them and then just import the file into the other system so you don't have to do this multiple times on multiple systems. Impressions. So this gives you an overall impression. It was a unilateral reduced vestibular function in the left lateral canal, or the patient was within normal limits. So we have a couple of check there. Again, if you want to change anything in this wording, click Impressions, come in and change it. And then last thing is macros. This is a full sentence. The head impulse was within normal limits. If you want to include that, you just highlight it and insert, and then so you can come in and type this in or change it. And if you want to add in other words, you can just type whatever you want in this field and it'll allow you to include that into your report. So let's go over to Review Report Options where we can see this in a bigger version. Now we've added a lot of text and a lot of elements here. What you see here is the head impulse title. Now if you wanted to change it, let me go back to Edit Report for you. You can change that right here where it says Report Title, and you can type that in. So you can change the title. Patient name, facility information, logos, all that can be added in. We'll talk about the report operator. The data of the report is there, but now it sees symptoms, impressions, and macros, or the findings is where the macros come in. So let's make this bigger so you can see it. So whatever you check, that's what's going to come into the symptoms, impressions, and then what's in macros will go under findings. So let's go back over here and let's just delete some of this out and refresh. And let's go back to Review Report Options here. Now I can look at this as a single report on one page, or I can do a double, so I can look at it side by side. So because I included the hex plot will always be on its own page. Now if I didn't want the hex plot here, Then I could just choose not to have the hex plot. If I uncheck hex plot there and then refresh, then I will just have everything on one page. This is showing me that I have my mean gains. Let's make it big so you can see it. So you can see here you've got your mean gain, your standard deviation, your asymmetry ratio for those traces. You've got the gain graph and the traces. If you want to see, let's see what large 2D impulse graphs are. So if we hit refresh, it's going to be on a second page because they do take up quite a bit of space. But here you can see, okay, now I've got my laterals and I've got each trace in a bigger view if I want that. So you have all these options to choose from. And then you can easily decide how you want to view your report. So you've got, makes it big, 100%. That makes the page, makes it a little bit wider. Then you've got your whole page, which we had before, and then you've got your side by side if you have more than one page. Now if you wanted to search on this document for a particular word, like let's say lateral, and hit return, and then you can see where anywhere where lateral will come up. So you can search your own report. This is your print button here, and then this copy will allow you to copy out text and paste it into another document. And then you've got, it automatically saves, but you have a save button there. You've got print to PDF, email, refresh, updates when you make changes. Now if you choose for it to automatically update every time you make a change, you can use auto update. I personally like making a bunch of changes and then hitting refresh. I think it's a little bit nicer. Before we leave this page, what you see here is the test results. So you can choose to include lateral, LARP, and RALP. If you had multiple LARPs, then you would choose which, do you want to include those LARPs. Now, one thing to point out, this little symbol here is for the hex plot. You need to make sure that you only choose one lateral, one LARP, and one RALP to be displayed in that hex plot. So since there's only one version of each, this is why this is grayed out. But if you had two LARPs, then you would choose which one gets included in that hex plot if you want to print the hex plot. Otherwise, to choose which test is included in the report, that's what these green check boxes are. So let's go to System Settings. Facility Info. This is where you enter your facility info and where you include your logo. Refer to the reference manual so that you understand what size logos and what limitations there are for logos so that you can include the proper sized logo. And then report settings, this is where you decide what patient information and what facility information is included on that report. You can also choose the paper size, A4 versus letter. You can choose if the person who collected the data is the operator on the report, or the person who actually printed the report is the operator, or you include both of those. If you are outside the US and the postal code comes before the city, you want to check this box. And then if you're using a black and white printer, you want to make sure you check the unique gain graph symbols, because the red and blue dots or triangles that are in the gain graph will look the same on the black and white printer, and this way it'll make one of them an open symbol, and so then you'll be able to tell the difference between right and left. That is everything. You can see that the report is nice, concise, easy to use, and gives you everything you need and gives you a lot of flexibility as far as customizing it to meet your facility's needs. Thank you.